Hey, I've got another vlog here for you. I wanted to talk about the radio. What's so special about the radio? Um, Nowadays, radio just seems less and less, like there's not a lot of people listening to radio. It's gotten a lot more or less attention. Um, so I back in high school, I used to listen to the radio all the time in my house, in my car, you know, whenever I was driving, just turn on the radio, whatever was on. And of course, my friends did the same thing. They listened to it all the time. And then it's just gotten to the point where I just don't really listen to the radio. I actually haven't turned on my radio in 2 years, actually. I've actually kept up the last time that I've listened to the radio. But I haven't turned on my radio in 2 years. But I have turned on like my auxiliary in, just like listening to stuff off my phone. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're either listening to, they listen to like Sirius XM if you still listen to the radio, but kind of like really want to choose what you want to listen to. But a lot of people, they listen to stuff off of their phone or iPod. Yeah, got a hair in my mouth. That was a weird sound that made if anybody heard that. So yeah, I just kind of what I mainly listen to is either a podcast or just people talking. Like, I like to learn about, like, books. I listen to a lot of book reviews. Either like book reviews or just like technological facts. Like, here's a story about Nintendo and like this product or whatever, or like just like, hey, these people are doing something bad and like let's go through their life or whatever. I don't know, just anything on my phone, really. Like, what I'll do is I'll pull up YouTube if I don't have time to like watch a video. I'll sometimes like have time to like go through the recommendation like feed and see what kind of seems interesting, and I'll put that on my watch later, and then I'll watch it, or not really watch it, but listen to it while I'm driving. So that's mainly what I do. But this will be like in my view. Other people can have different views, but in my view, like, why do I not listen to radio anymore? If I listen to music, it's either going to be 50s music or it's going to be 80s or 90s. Sometimes like early 2000s, rock music. And every time I turn on the radio, it's just like the same few songs that just play over and over. And I know, 80s and 90s music, that's done with. We're not in the 80s and 90s. I understand that, and they're not making that anymore. And especially if you try that today, it just does not really feel the same. I'm sure there's like some bands that are like, that do have that 80s, 90s sound. But of course, we're not in that time period anymore. And it was just like, there's something about it that just sounds different. But anyways, yeah, so I listen to that kind of music. But there's only like the very few songs that the radios will play, especially like just like their number one hits, and it's like it just plays over and over and over, and I'm like, I want to listen to something else from this band. And how I eventually end up doing it is I'll either buy the CD or I'll make my own CD of that band. Like, I heard that song that I really like, or not really like, but like I've heard a song from theirs on the radio that was their number one hit. I want to know what else is on their album, So I'll get their album either by buying it or burning the CD. And if I haven't heard that song, I still burn it onto the CD and I'll play it, and I'll see if I like it, and if I don't, skip whatever. And that's just me. That's just how I do it. If you have like your songs that you really like from that album or different albums or even different bands, you can burn on your CD however you want to. I don't care. But that's just how I do it. If I see like an album, I'll get it and I'll play it, and if I don't like it, I skip it. And there's sometimes there have been like plenty of times, especially in Paramore songs. I love listening to Paramore. And I remember back in high school, there were like a handful of Paramore songs that I just did not like, and now I love them, and I think about them in my head sometimes. I'll just like play the song in my head, which I might have to listen to some Paramore after this. But that's just my point of view. Like, they just, like, the radio host just will not play any other song from the like specific bands. They'll just play the number one hits, and I'm really tired of it. So if I want to listen to music, I'll either have the CD or play it off my phone. But yeah, that's about it.